This video is sponsored and approved by Audible. Here at Full Fat Videos, we rarely cover a single movie in our video essays, often opting to delve deep across a whole bunch of scenes that explain a single point or detail an arc. But this week, I'm not only going to be covering just one movie, I'm covering one exact scene. Well, I guess it is scenes because it's intercut with the Naboo battle and Anakin zipping around in space.
I'll try spinning, that's a good trick.
The Darth Maul fight. I want to talk about the Darth Maul fight. Let's stay on target. Across 11, soon to be 12 theatrical releases, Star Wars has proven to be the very best at delivering spacefaring action thrills. Whilst its spaceship battles, shootouts and pod races are a sight to behold, the franchise is best known for its use of its signature weapon, the lightsaber, in several key duels.
An elegant weapon for a more civilized age.
A laser sword that produces an intense hard-light blade in a variety of different flavours, the lightsaber is the weapon of choice for both the Jedi and the Sith, meaning the audience routinely gets treated to this. But which lightsaber duel is the best? There's surely several contenders that spring to mind for a whole host of different reasons. The intense choreography of the Anakin-Obi-Wan duel in Revenge of the Sith, the cathartic battle between Luke and Vader as he tries to pull him back to the light in Return of the Jedi. I could even see the merit in arguing for the very first duel we ever saw on screen between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader in A New Hope. But for me, there's only one duel that combines visuals, choreography, music, performance and story in such a way that it stands head and shoulders above every other effort.
A surprise, to be sure, but a welcome one.
Here's why the Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan Kenobi Darth Maul duel from the final battle of Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, is the best lightsaber duel ever. So Episode 1 teases an epic confrontation between the Jedi and the Sith throughout the entire movie. There's a little tease of what's to come when we see Qui-Gon battle Darth Maul armed with just one ignited saber blade on Tatooine, and with the foreboding power of the Sith that comes to light across the story. For the first time in 1,000 years, the Jedi and the Sith are going to clash in a big way, so of course this battle wastes no time delivering an absolutely epic entrance. The doors sweep open to reveal the hooded visage of Darth Maul, and as if you needed any more confirmation that this guy's a bedwetting, pants-shitting badass, everyone but Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan hot-tail it out of there quicker than you can say,
"You underestimate my power!"
Force users derobe and holy shit, is that 2 blades? 2 blades? Are you freaking kidding me right now? Okay, so maybe in 2019 nobody is wowed by this and everybody in the Star Wars universe has some kind of lightsaber gimmick.
What the hell is that? Everyone's got a gimmick now.
But Darth Maul was the first to unleash a different kind of saber on the big screen. Unlike his successors, who had increasingly nonsensical gimmicks, this new type of lightsaber had a purpose, allowing us to feasibly see how Maul could take on 2 Jedi at once. I like the curved hilt design of Dooku's blade and Kylo Ren's cross-saber, but honestly, I find them a bit unnecessary. It comes off like every time the creative team have come up with a new Sith, there's a brainstorm where they try and work out how many hilts and blades they can stick on one dickhead. I mean, come on guys. As if Maul needed any more hype after unleashing this blade, Duel of the Fates starts playing. Duel of the Fates, baby! There's a ton of golden Star Wars tracks, but this is hands down the best action track in the entire franchise. It's insanely hummable, memorable, exciting and epic all in one. And having it play across this duel only helps to up the wow factor tenfold. When I was a kid, I always used to imagine the choir voices were the Force ghosts of Jedi and Sith stoking the fires of battle and watching this historic meeting. Yeah, I was a dumb kid. As this fight progresses, it becomes abundantly clear that the choreography is a huge step up from the previous Star Wars movies. Here are 3 lightsaber-wielding Force users at the height of their powers, incorporating swings, kicks,
Hello there.
spins, and Force tricks to get the upper hand. Big props to Ray Park for managing to imbue so much life into a character with nothing but his physicality. Maul might have appeared in a few other scenes, but we all know it was this sequence which made him a household name. And as he's proven recently, the man has still got the moves. jump into the cinematography, we would like to thank today's sponsor, Audible. Audible has the largest audiobook library on the planet, so if you fancy signing up, why not go to audible.com/fullfat or text fullfat to 500 500 today. Supporting Audible helps support us and keeps us sustainable, so we really appreciate it. Audible has tons of Star Wars audiobooks to choose from, so if you like this video, I'm sure you'll love Star Wars Master and Apprentice by Claudia Gray. In it, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Qui-Gon Jinn go to a dangerous planet and face an uncertain future. It's the first canon novel set before the events of Star Wars The Phantom Menace. And that's not all, because Amazon Prime members can save 66% for the first 3 months. That's $30 off, which is basically like getting 3 months for the price of one. The offer is valid until the end of July, and you'll pay $4.95 per month for the first 3 months. After that, it's $14.95 per month. So visit audible.com/fullfat or text fullfat to 500 500 today! The cinematography does an excellent job of showing off the world of Naboo without it being gratuitous. Equally, it zeroes in on the fight without obscuring our view of it, which might seem like a redundant point, but since most action movies can't overshoot shit in horrible shaky cam close-ups, it implores me to praise it here. As the fight goes on, we move from the industrial hangars to a stunning maze of platforms and energy beams, bathing everything in purple-blue hues, to laser grids to the bottomless pit of Death Room, more on that in a bit. There's a perfect sense of geography, which is no mean feat considering how the film has to cut to 2 entirely separate, equally chaotic action sequences on the fields of Naboo and in space. The fact you can track anything during this time is a feat of editing in of itself, but then again, no one cuts together parallel battle sequences together like Star Wars now, do they? Now, all the things I've mentioned thus far are absolutely reasons to consider this duel as the best ever duel in Star Wars history, but I don't think they're reason enough alone. No, the real reason I think this entire sequence is masterful? It's when the fighting stops. After a stunningly intense battle, Qui-Gon and Maul find themselves blocked off by oscillating laser grids. Qui-Gon's apprentice, Obi-Wan, had tried in vain to catch up to them. Instead, he's at the very back, cut off from the heart of the action, forced to watch to see what might happen next. As we can see, he's frustrated, unlike his master who sits down to meditate. This part of the duel tells us so much about all 3 characters and what they represent. Qui-Gon, the Jedi Master, patient, calm, channeling the light. Maul, pacing left and right, snarling, ready to unleash his rage and passion just as a Sith would. And Obi-Wan, his emotions leaving him somewhere in between, wanting to help but unable to, watching with dreaded anticipation. It's only by slowing down the fight, by cooling off on the epic music, do we get an interior window into these warriors. It's also a great little nugget of tension, because we know, of course, those grids are going to move again. Maul and Qui-Gon are going to clash blades once more. It's inevitable. When they do, the fight ramps back up again, but the mood is very different. Obi-Wan once again gets cut off, the music is absent. Maul and Qui-Gon strikes are considered, they're breaking far more often in between. We cut back and forth to Obi-Wan, watching helplessly. All of this helps to drum up a feeling of dread, like something awful is going to happen. And of course, it does. Darth Maul, who, up until this point has been nothing but snarls and grimaces, merely turns away after gutting Qui-Gon, moving into a new battle stance. No more pacing, almost as if his bloodlust is satisfied. Killing Qui-Gon meant nothing to him, it elicits no emotion whatsoever, and now he's poised to cut Obi-Wan down just the same. I love how this line is the only spoken word during the entire battle. The entire sequence has the confidence to let the characters' intentions come out through their physicality. There's no declaration of battle or any long winding speeches, as Star Wars can be prone to do.
I have brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire.
Your new empire?
As soon as these guys lock eyes, it's on. The final turn of the fight is some of the most satisfying Star Wars ever put to screen. I mean, just look at these two going at it. Flipping, swinging their blades with full force, it's nothing short of incredible. Oh, and the hero loses. What would Star Wars be without some kind of bottomless pit? After toying with Obi-Wan, Maul gets paid back for killing Obi's master with his master's blade. Kenobi always has the high ground even when he doesn't, bitch.
I have the high ground!
And this duel isn't just a big flashy action scene, it provides Obi-Wan, a preeminent character not only in the prequel trilogy but the entire saga itself, with the impetus to grow, moving beyond his status as an apprentice to a fully fledged Jedi in a baptism of fire. It's also nice that after being certainly more than a little hesitant at the idea of taking Anakin to be trained as one of their own,
the boy is dangerous. They all sense it, why can't you?
In spite of his age and emotional state, Obi-Wan here finally changes his mind. But not because he has decided differently, but because his master asks it of him as his dying wish.
Obi-Wan, promise me you will train the boy.
Yes, Master.
So of course he will train Anakin, even if he doesn't think it's necessarily the best idea. He's not changed his mind per se, he's honouring what Qui-Gon wanted. This setup is key because it means that Anakin begins his training on rocky ground and goes some way to setting up their fraught father-son, mentor-student relationship across the rest of the trilogy. And as Lucas intended, the first and, at that point, last duel in the saga featured the Sith Lord in question dropping to their death down an impossibly deep tunnel. Having sequels obviously changed this, not to mention the fact that Darth Maul canonically survives this battle. That also makes me sad because Obi-Wan was said to have been the first Jedi to kill a Sith in 1,000 years, which is incredibly awesome. Now I suppose that title goes to Anakin for killing Dooku? Maybe someone in the comments can clarify for me. This battle works within the wider canon so well too. We've heard stories of the Jedi being these powerful peacekeepers, war heroes, but all we got to see of the old guard in the original trilogy were elderly, broken, decrepit men who'd long since lost the fight. In this duel we get to see firsthand the kind of legendary battle you'd expect Obi-Wan to recount to Luke one day. For the first time in over 1,000 years, under a sky set ablaze with Trade Federation firepower, two Jedi face the mighty Darth Maul in a duel to the death. If you were to watch the series in the order it was made, which is the only decent order to watch them in for your first viewing, anything else is completely wrong, you'd be used to the idea of Obi-Wan as a calm and collected old sage. But here you get your first taste of an emotionally charged, angry Kenobi, keen to avenge his master's death and eradicate Maul for good. The prequels might get a lot of things wrong, but there's no doubt that this duel delivers on the promise of witnessing the Jedi at the height of their powers.
So, we didn't think we'd be doing this, but someone has actually donated $100, which is incredible.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Chike.
Honestly, that's awesome. You are, as we said in our Patreon video, literally keeping the lights on. So, no, but seriously, thank you very much. And,
yeah, we're just sort of in shock, aren't we?
Full Fat Videos is going to strange new places. Full Fat Videos just got upgraded, and along with that, we're upgrading our Patreon with new tiers and rewards just for you. Patreon could really help us make Full Fat Videos self-sustaining, and it'll allow us to make better videos and better content for you. For just $1 a month, you'd be helping us out a great deal already, which is why we thank you at the end of every video. Not to mention you'd get exclusive access to Full Fat Milk Posting, a Facebook group where you can talk to us about movies, TV and games, as well as some memes. We like a bit of memes.
For $3, you'll get access to everything from the previous tiers, but you'll also get the chance to watch our videos one day early, as well as get access to exclusive scripts and bloopers.
For just $5 a month, you'll get access to everything from all the other tiers, as well as exclusive access to ask the questions for our monthly Q&As.
And that's not all. For just $10, you'll get access to all of the above, as well as an exclusive commentary track picked by you.
For $100, I mean, you'd be keeping the lights on, so we'd really appreciate it, and we'd probably thank you at the end of every video on camera. You'd be really helping us in any way, shape or form if you could consider contributing to our Patreon. We love making this stuff for you guys, and we'd love to keep making more of it. So thank you, and thank you for watching. We're off to go make some more of that juicy content. We'll see you next time. Stay milky.